What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Braithorn. How you doing? So glad to see y'all here on this auspicious day, evening, night, auspicious time. It is this is not the ideal setup for what I do here. Whenever I do these, I hadn't done a PC unboxing in like a while, and then I tried to do the thing yesterday. Who was here yesterday? It went rough. Basically, I've already been redoing a lot of the room, putting in this big old workbench desk, sit-stand desk thing here, and I've been like moving stuff out of here to make space to work and just cleaning up. I need to redo probably like all my wiring, have a dedicated stream PC. Well, you know, just because sometimes I'm not using it. Anyways, whatever. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm Braithorn. How are you? I am fine. Thank you. What's up, Clone Smurf? Yeah, so tonight doesn't work so well for me. Lol. Sorry, you know what? All right. Sorry, guys. It's not going to work well tonight for Clone Smurf. We'll see you guys another time, I guess. All right. Thanks. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What are you doing tomorrow? I might not be streaming tomorrow. Saying. Might not be streaming tomorrow. And Skeeter, thank you very much. I happen to like this jacket too. It's not really for warmth. This is literally just for style. It's like thin, which is good in Texas actually. But then again, it doesn't breathe very well. But it looks good. But thank you. Jokeman, what's going on? Loving the new setup. I've had this setup for a while. I just hadn't used it in a while. Haven't had many unboxings to do because of, you know, no GPUs available. But we're good now. We're getting there. What's up, Still a Bandit? How's it going? Green Crab 6, howdy. How you doing? Skeeter says, hey, April 1st was yesterday. It was. Good job. You're right. Alice, what's going on? Good evening. Craig Lilly says, good luck, Braithorn. You know, I might need it. This is going to be an even more complex stream than the one I tried to do yesterday, but I spent a long time figuring stuff out. I wish I could just get a good capture card. It seems impossible at this point to get a good capture card that just works. But yeah, we'll figure all that out. Thing is trying, I'm sure. But hey, it is what it is. We work with what we got. Run with your brawn. How are my audio levels sounding, everybody? My levels are way over there right now. I guess I could bring that over here. Hold on a second. I could bring that over here. We'll get into our intro and stuff once we have a few more people in here. Cool, now I have my audio levels in front of me, where they should be. Real Edwin Mendoza, how's it going? Hello, welcome. That April 1st thing was in response to you pretending to end the stream because it's, oh, yeah. I think that would have been pretty fun, honestly. Sounds good. No Robot Braithorn voices so far. Good. Basically, I did a reboot of everything, which is what I probably should have done last night. But you know what? It fit with last night. It was perfect. It was just right. It was just the cherry on top of everything. Last night was incredible in the worst way. It was really something. But from what I understand, people did find that very entertaining, so I'm down with that. Also, I will say this, you guys might notice I'm having to duck a lot. It's because the overall position on my camera is a little too low. It's wide angle, that's good, but the overall positioning is a bit too low. So I basically need to work on that. But it's where it is right now. That's okay, probably. Don't give me any posture checks and I should be fine. But yeah, you read the title correctly. For those of you who know who ADEF is, ADEF is awesome, and I'm going to talk more about ADEF later. But I got to meet him at TwitchCon. We got to talk about PCs, and lo and behold, wait till you hear the specs. That if you go look at his YouTube channel, I think he's at like 150K subs, something like that. And he built that on. Well, it's an inspiring story, but it's not a bad PC by any means, but generally not what you would think of for someone who is, you know, pretty much doing this professionally. And it's just that sometimes, no matter what you do, some aspect of it is going to be an afterthought. Like you can't prioritize everything, otherwise there are no priorities. So That's where I come in, and that's where Paradox Customs comes in. It all made perfect sense. The Ghost of Novatech is not to be underestimated, apparently. Only their PCs are to be underestimated. Well, no. I think there was just estimation. I think the estimate was correct on those PCs. Raspberry Tech content currently going through CompTIA, so I want to share myself with the IT environment, says Edwin Mendoza. That's very cool. I did network admin myself. That is way in my past. Certifications all have gone to dust at this point. No renewals there, but I mean, we're talking about a long time ago I did all that. But I have found my niche, and that is helping people who are new to PCs find the right pre-built PC or parts list for their first DIY build. That's what I do, and it's because it's something I've been doing for most of my life. People who find out when you're a tech-oriented person, you need to be prepared for something. Once the people around you catch wind of that, you're now their tech person, and their cousin's tech person, and their best friend's tech person, and their mom's tech person, because they will tell all of them, oh, I know a guy. And then suddenly you're providing tech support for everybody in a 6-mile radius. So that's funny, but you got to be ready for that. But my main thing was that people would want to know what they should get for their PCs, and that's something I've been doing for the longest time. So this is really kind of a natural fit for me. New to field, so hang around the people that will better you. Very true. My policy is to never be the smartest guy in the room, and if you are, move to another room, because you have nothing to learn there. Or just chill and just have a good time and not worry about smarts. Have a good time, but still, learning is important. Should always be doing it. Should always be expected to do so. I thought I'd at least be good. Yep. Might as well back it up. What's up, Robert? How's it going? Humanity, what's up? Welcome. Hi, friend. Tech support me right meow. Well, I can support you. I believe in you. You can do this. Anything you set your mind to, you can do. There you go. I supported you. Not tech support. There's tech around me, if that counts. So, okay. What we're doing here, and what I do in general, if it's your first time here. Well, regardless of how cool it is to see all that content out there about PC DIY and building PCs and all of that stuff, the majority of people buy pre-built PCs. Around 75%, give or take, per year in PC hardware sales go to pre-builds. And if you look at the content out there, 90% of it is DIY. The math ain't mathing. And that's something I know my buddy Adef would not like. He does like math that maths. So, I set out to take my PC DIY knowledge, my IT knowledge and all that, and apply it to scrutinizing pre-built PC companies or system integrators. Now, I don't really look at OEM PCs like your HP, Dell, stuff like that, because what feedback are they going to take from me? No, system integrators, whether small or large, generally more open to feedback, and they also are what I would recommend. So you don't look at proprietary parts that you can't replace or upgrade yourself. None of that nonsense. Not around here. So that's what we do. We help out all those people who aren't getting enough help, honestly. Now, what we're looking at today, this is not a standard pre-built review like you would normally see here. This is a system that came to me and is pretty much immediately going to another content creator, and that content creator would be ADEF, A-D-E-F. That's much more pronounceable than XKCD, thankfully. Those math nerds, they like their 4-letter names. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. It's there somewhere. One thing I want to note, I want y'all to be prepared for me to stop at certain points to have to adjust things in the stream, because I just had to get things working. Not everything's polished. But one cool thing is Adef, who is a content creator who focuses on video games and the math that makes them tick. Like, if you're a math nerd or a video game nerd, either one, you will love his content. Adef, who this PC is going to, who has been using a woefully underpowered PC to make all his content, is actually going to be joining us on a Discord call later on. So we're going to have to move along and get to starting to unbox this PC. And we're going to scope it out. We're going to see how it is. We're going to see what's what. We're going to... yeah. Water. All laptops are pre-builds. They are. But they're different. Because there's a lot more elements to laptops that you can't tell just by looking at them. Darkman says G6. You sunk my battleship? Technically, the table is tech support and it's supporting all the tech. It does math. You're right. Actual goat for doing that. Thanks. Is Adep joining us tonight? He is. Spreadsheet gamer. Better believe it. More than that. We're talking about slopes and derivatives and stuff when it but applied to Pokemon. Okay, Pokemon calculus, literally. Really, just fascinating stuff. Oh my gosh, Sonder PCs, how's it going? It's been a minute. How are you? I hope all is well. Now, of course, we are. Yo, Adep is here. What is up, Adep? How's it going? Give it a little shouty right there. I hope I did justice to describing your content just now, by the way. Yeah, so we come to the point of the stream where logistics become a problem because you see, this is a pretty big PC. By the way, Adef, I don't know if I warned you about that. This is gonna be a lot bigger than your small form factor PC. So it's now one cool thing that I like to see is Paradox Customs did double box this, and the outside box does not say gaming PC inside, which, as you can imagine, could be a potential problem. So that is nice, but I have to unbox that box and then bring the other box up here. Thankfully, sit stand desk gonna help with that. But we're gonna go ahead and get started on unboxing this thing. Hey Def, were you here to hear my XKCD joke? Really hope you were. I didn't. Ah, dang it, I didn't turn on this camera right here. Oops. I'm gonna have to like set that up in the thing, but it's all good. Okay. You were awesome, awesome. Also, as for size, I'm prepared for a behemoth. Excellent, awesome. Okay, let's get unboxing here. So I'm gonna do the outside box down here, slide the inside box out, and then bring that box up here, and all will be well. You don't get to see some of this, and I do apologize for that. I need to sharpen this thing. You know what? As cool as this knife is, I do need a sharp one for this. Because I could tear into that box pretty easily, but it needs to survive because this thing's getting shipped out in record time. So the more intact I leave this, the better. Now you guys let me know if we have a similar issue tonight that we did last night with the robot voice thing happening. Because look, if I want a robot voice, then if I want a robot voice, I'll give myself is that working? I don't think so. I don't think it's set up for that mic. There we go. Yes, if I want a robot voice, I'll give myself a robot voice. I don't want it happening accidentally. There we go. I did it. Okay. So what have I missed? Not much. Been launching a B2B division. Oh, cool. We need to chat. Redid the whole website. Need some input off stream, brother. You got it. You know me. I'm always happy to give feedback on websites, configurators, all the things that'll make things easier for your customers. Happy to help with that. You guys would be surprised, and I don't like to take too much credit for it because if companies didn't listen, it wouldn't mean anything. Excuse me. That's my Texas coming out. Come on, how many layers is this to do this? All right. This is a well-protected box, let me tell you that. That is for dang sure. There we go. But I was going to say, you guys would be surprised that, that I'm willing to bet that once or twice you may have gone to a system integrator's website, gone through the configurator, and been like, "Oh, that's a nice feature." I probably suggested it, and especially if you start seeing the same feature on multiple websites, yeah. Okay, so this is cool. I'm never going to remember how they had all this in here, but I'll get a rough approximation of it. I like this. You get the boxes for the GPU and the motherboard. And I imagine in the motherboard box... Oh, I need to fix something real quick. Give me a second. Pardon me, excuse me. You're gonna see a few times during this stream, because I was in such a rush to just fix certain things to make sure the main functionality was there. There we go. That there's gonna be a few times where I have to set up something really quickly in OBS. Don't let that bother you. Okay. So. There we go. So this right here is probably where they put all of the extras. Yo, they include a screwdriver. Probably because the GPU comes uninstalled. So, ADEF, fair warning, I'm going to uninstall it before I send it to you as well. It's just safer for the shipping. And then we have all of the extra power supply cables in here. Now this is, again, just so you guys know, this is the first time I have had the opportunity to review a PC from Paradox. What I have to go on when I make the recommendation Paradox is all of the positive feedback I get from their customers, which carries a lot of weight for me. But being able to see it for myself is nice. Humanity says it's purple. It's not purple. What's purple? Yeah. Oh, this is a nice. These are some nice power supply cables. Look at that. Included sleeves. We're gonna maybe. Maybe we got a little surprise for later. We'll see. But very interesting stuff here. Okay, but that's all in a nice little baggie there. Oh, that one got away. And we have a few things here. That one got away as well. Let's see what else we got. This tiny fan, which it says Aorus on it, so I believe this is a fan for the RAM from the motherboard. Okay, they did not use a G connector. The case probably had a unified connector already. This right here is important. This ADEF is your Wi-Fi antenna, and you can't get an aftermarket one because these use these quick connects, not your standard like mini coax connections with the screw-on points. But instead, this one's a quick fit one. You do need this if you're going to use Wi-Fi. But you're a partner streamer. You've been doing this for a while. I know that you probably have Ethernet for your streaming setup. Yep. Oh, no, I would, without even looking. I knew it. I knew it. However, if you want your Bluetooth to work well, you need that anyway. So don't you go losing it. I gotta say, this is really cool, where, because I love giving away PCs, but you got to understand, guys, it can be an absolute nightmare to be a content creator when your PC is not always up to the task, because nothing can kill the creative flow like your very important creative apps freezing up that gray screen on in Adobe Premiere Pro, whatever app you might be using. I used to do some music production in it. When that was just trying to crank through and I didn't have enough RAM or I didn't have enough whatever, I was done. The creative process just fizzles out very quickly if you're not careful. But hey, there you go. Free screwdriver. There you go. What I was going to say was I love doing giveaways. And of course, I like getting a PC that I can keep, use for testing, things like that. That's always nice. But because I know what it's like to make content on a system that is inadequate, this is something I want to do more of. Because system integrators, well, they have marketing stuff they want to do. Maybe I can guide some of that in the right direction and towards people that I'm a fan of. You know what I mean? That's kind of cool. But also, just having you here while I'm doing this is cool because you get to see someone who lives and breathes pre-built, so you can see my take on it. I guess speaking of which, let's get our take on this Ventus 3X 5080. Oh yeah, look at how beautifully packaged that is. Very nice. You even have this nice sag bracket right here, or this GPU support. You just twist it out and it has rubber on the bottom and the top. You have fans on the bottom of the case, so you got to position that carefully. But if you're not going to be moving your PC around, which you're not going to be moving your PC around. Fine. And of course, the MSI adapter in case your power supply does not have 12V PWR or 12V 2x6 native to its connectors. So we're going to put this aside for now. We're going to get on to the main event, which of course, with things being as they are with the GPU market, this pretty much is, are you kidding me? This is a white themed 5080. You know how hard these are to get? I cannot believe Paradox was able to snag one of these, but I mean, that's Paradox. They like doing their aesthetic white builds and having the GPU that matches for that. So there we go. That's going to look awesome. So now I'm going to go ahead, you're not going to see this part, but I'm just going to like put the box on its side, the outer box on its side, and then slide out the inner box on the floor so I don't murder my like L4 and L5. All right. Beer Money, what's going on, by the way? And Grover Monster, happy Wednesday to you. White like a cat emote. What's up, Tough? How's it going? Ignis Pluvius, welcome. Who makes good quality cables brand-wise? I want to get a white PCIe for my GPU. Cable mod. And now, if you're just looking at PCIe 6x2 or 6+2 cables, you could just go with Asia Horse. Asia Horse makes pretty nice ones. There are quite a few brands that make them, and it's fairly easy to get those right. Yeah, average price just now on that exact GPU is $1,700 to $1,900. Very upsetting. Yeah. Yeah, ADF, that's the thing with the market right now for GPUs. It's even around the time we first spoke at TwitchCon, the rumblings of it were happening by the time that Black Friday rolled around. 40 series was getting to be nigh on impossible to find because NVIDIA stopped production on 40 series. Now, the reason they had to do that was because they're using the same fabs for Blackwell GPUs, like the one I just showed you, that they were for a Lovelace GPUs or 40 series. So if they wanted to ramp up production to that, sort of had to shut them down. But also, they were supposedly planning on launching everything way earlier, and then they didn't. So what's you gonna do? And then the amount that they actually produced, not great. However, things are already getting better, everybody. By the end of Q2, which we're just into Q2 now. By the end of Q2, it should be a lot easier to get GPUs. But here's the thing, everybody. Retail is where it's really, where the pinch is really at. Retail. Because that's where scalpers go. Scalpers get stuff at retail, okay? System integrators usually have it a little better because they have their own allocation separate from retail. And no scalper is going to buy a whole PC just to scalp the GPU. They don't even get original packaging or anything. They're not going to do that. The problem is, this shortage is so bad that even system integrators have been getting scalped by distributors because the prices are raised for distributors who receive these things now through tariffs, have to pay those, raise the prices, also scarcity, and they want to get their cut out of that scarcity. So The system integrators are the end of the line when it comes to the supply chain. Well, technically you are when you buy it, but that means that's where the price is going to be highest, and it's not really their fault. Anyway, I could rant about this forever. Sorry. Okay. So we're just going to lay this on its side and then shimmy out the inner box. This can be a little difficult because you have to both pull on the inner box and push on the outer box, but difficult doesn't mean impossible. And of course, you can see they have not just a thick outer box, but also extra padding in there. Not foam, but doesn't necessarily need to be. That's nice. Okay. $13.50 on the MSI website, and it's drum roll sold out. Yep. Oh yeah, ads. That's what I watch on YouTube. Well, Clone Smurf, now I do have ads on YouTube, but if you have YouTube Premium, you ain't got to worry about that. Yep, and we're starting to get 2 to 3 months lead times. 5090s are unicorns at this point. Yep, I've resolved myself to pretty much not getting one until it's late Q3, maybe Q4. And I can actually use that VRAM, but what are you going to do? Not yet. What am I doing? It has been a little while since I've unboxed the PC, so forgive me. Okay. I think that was a pretty healthy lift. Oh, that's weird. YouTube is 10 seconds behind. Not weird. That lag is pretty normal, especially at 4K 30. I'm doing 25,000 on my bitrate, so pretty high. But for 4K 30, that's not extremely high, actually, but high enough. You got to pull these little things out so that the box can slide out properly. There you go. I mean, the inner styrofoam, or hopefully closed cell foam. Did I just not cut this? I just did not cut it. Okay, so in the top of this is going to be an accessory box for the Li 011 Dynamic Evo RGB. Oops, and that's, sorry. You can kill me, ADEF, I guess. No. This has an accessory box, and these are mostly case things. We can take a look at that in a bit. Other than that, as you can see, we do have, whoop, there you go. We do have some nice, dense, closed cell foam. This is rated for multiple impacts. This is very nice. Generally, what you have to be careful of is that a lot of these... Oh, there we go. Generally, a lot of these are not really meant to handle... It's going to lose my face repeatedly. Hi. There we go. The weight of a built PC, just an empty case. But when you see this closed cell foam, that usually is going to be multiple impact resistant and able to protect more weight inside the box. So I do like to see this. Li, I know on some of your cheaper cases you use single impact styrofoam, fragile stuff. Stop that. Knock it off. All right. Danny Mertz, what's going on? And bodybuilder, Bay Bodybuilder 408, what's up? How's it going? We're not building something. We are unboxing a pre-built PC that was custom built for another content creator, Ada. Okay, now the best way to get this out of here, I've shown you this multiple times before, but if you're new here, is you sort of just get this in place here to where you can, roll it over. Hold these down, at least one of them, anyway. So like that, and then put your hand here to sort of keep it from sliding prematurely there. We go over like that, and then up. And try not to hit your top-down camera. Now, everybody, if you've been here before, what do you do with your packaging for your PC? What do you do? What do you do with this? What do you do with this? What do you do with this? What do you do? You keep it. Do not throw this away. You can throw the outer box away if you want to. I tend to keep most of my packaging, but you keep the main box, supportive structure inside the foam, and the bag. If you need to store your PC because you're, I don't know, traveling abroad, you're traveling abroad. That's what you do. Where you travel is abroad. Studying abroad, or you're military, you're going on a tour, or you're going to be moving somewhere and you need to pack this thing up. You need this stuff. It is perfectly designed for your PC's enclosure to keep it stable and safe from impact and other various tragedies. Thank you, Alucard. Absolutely. You build a fortress. That's one way to justify keeping it. I mean, that might be a good snack, though. No, Alucard, no. We've talked about this. We definitely burn the packaging. Yes, burn this in an enclosed space with no facial protection. No face mask. Now, don't do that. That'll be bad with this foam. Yeah, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Store it safe somewhere. Well, here's what you do. You're going to have other boxes. You put them in there. You're going to have the box for your monitor. Maybe it'll fit in there. You're going to have the box for your keyboard, your mouse, all that stuff. Put them in there. That means all of your boxes for all your peripherals, accessories, and your PC itself all together. Protect your PC from being chucked like a bale of hay by FedEx. Yep. Okay. And then this part's pretty easy. We just sort of, here we go. We can already see the glory in here. And by the way, you don't see Instapack in here, and that's for a reason, because there's no GPU in there, and everything else is all mounted to the chassis. So we will then, because this is the bottom right here, we're going to lift this, pull out from the bottom there. That goes in the box. Oh, that's actually the top. My bad. Okay. This is the bottom. Well, we do the same thing. Go and lift that off carefully. Carefully. Especially if it's not yours. And this goes in the box. Now, why am I so adamant that every time I do one of these, I show you guys how to unbox the PC? You would be surprised at how many people who are new to this come in and say, I'm afraid of taking it out of the box. I'm worried I'm going to break it. Yeah. I get that. So I just show the process pretty much every time. Oh, hang on, I didn't start recording. What time are we at right now? Okay. Yeah, we should be ready to, in about 20 minutes, ADF, we'll be ready to get you on a call if that's okay. I'm forgetting to hit record. I used to have it set to auto record, but there's been so many streams where it hasn't been necessary and I don't want to have to worry about the storage space. I'm just like, eh. Also, the VODs on YouTube are pretty high quality, and I can download those. Let me get my Susan of the lazy variety. There we go. And also, if you want a really big lazy Susan like this, you can just order the ring, the lazy Susan ring, and just a bamboo cutting board. And there you go. This thing can support like 100 pounds. Voila, there you go. Of course, that goes in the box. Trust me, if you're gonna store this thing in a garage at some point, you want some protection from humidity. Already, you guys can see this is a glorious build. Holy jeez. There it is. And that side's boring. But it is good to know where your power button is and some of your other buttons right there. So there you go. Your IO is down here. Front IO is down there on the bottom. You can actually relocate that to the side ADEF if you want to with a few screws. Yeah, look at that thing. Oh man. Okay. Let's back this up a little bit. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and take a look. Now that we have this thing out here, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick look at what is in this accessory box. It's a face, trust me. Come on, thing. There we go. Okay. So this, you can see this little white sticker on here. That just denotes that it's for the white builds. That's probably for internal inventory with Lee and Lee. So this just comes with the Lee and Lee case. But you'd be surprised, some SIs don't include accessories that come with the case. So there you go. There is the manual for the case itself. There are some reconfiguration things you can do with this. In fact, the 8F, if you wanted to have this thing inverted, where you're going to have it on the left side of your monitor and you want the nice inside structure, you can actually do that with this case. Just requires swapping the top and bottom panels. You have all your screws for building a PC, which has already been done. So these are nice spare screws. You have the Lee and Lee and Der Bauer badge. Now, why don't they attach this? Well, because the case can be inverted. So you don't know what orientation you want this, whether, you know, you want it to be right side up. So it's just an adhesive on the back. Once you have built the thing, you can put it towards the back here and it'll be right side up. And now this is the graphics card anti-sag bracket, but the GPU came with one of its own that's much simpler. This is the type that connects through your motherboard using standoffs. And that's not quite, it's a little harder to install. It's less adjustable. It's adjustable, but it's not super adjustable. Also, for the white case, they don't include all the parts in white. It's all in black, which is like, nah. I don't mind when a case has like when a PC is like a white case with a majority of black components. Like that kind of look is fine. Oh, these are fan brackets here. Well, anyways, you're getting all this stuff, ADEF. There you go. Believe it or not, guys, this is the first PC I've ever reviewed in the 011 Dynamic Evo RGB. Never gotten a PC in this case, so I wanted to get a look at that myself. Just curiosity. But we have some stuff to actually look into here. Hey, buddy. Hi, over here. We had to look at cable management. We got to look at the internal build quality. We got to put that GPU in there and fire this thing up. So let's get to it. Thing is quite heavy. As you can see, we have all white cables here with custom cable extensions. And you know what's funny? I was told that they weren't going to be using an AIO with a screen on it, but guess what we got? We got the screen on it. So there you go. Triple B, Bears, Beats, and Battle Stars, thank you for the tier 1 sub, 18-month streak. Thank you very much. Igor 1980, thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs gifted to the community. That's Stealth 9678 and Green Crabs 6. Welcome to the swarm. How the heck are you, Igor? How's it going? Nice. What's the CPU? We'll get to that. Dedication, baby. Got the stream up on here and YouTube. Plus, I dropped a like, of course. Triple B, thank you very much. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, feel free to drop a like if you like what you see. I mean, it's the natural progression. That's like science. Is you... what is it? Causality. I don't know. Whatever. There's the Matrix reference. Okay, look. Okay, let's pop this open right here. And this just, the one downside to this is that this doesn't get held in with any screws. But clearly it stayed in place for the shipping. Now, this piece right here, guys, you do not just lean this against your desk when you have a hardwood floor or something like that, or if you have pets running around. You put this in the box while you're doing stuff inside the PC, okay? Now, metal panels, not as important, but still. Oh, boy, that is absolutely gorgeous. Holy jeez. Okay. Just straighten that out a little bit. These are nice cables, built-in cable comes, and I'm guessing that's part of the power supply that they have in here. It's part of, it's just what the cables are like. Because yes, they used the Lee & Edge 1000 Platinum in this. That is a 1000 watt platinum rated power supply, and it's the Edge one. So I'll show you guys what that means. For a case like this, which is a dual chamber case, it is perfection. What is this? Okay, I will note this because that's what I do. Because we are going to be looking at cable management. You'll see it. You know what? I'm going to show you now because it's going to get dislodged anyway. Little surprise for us here. No joke, I took off the right side panel and found a little surprise here. That was this right here. I don't know why. This is someone's sunglasses baggie. They might have been using it to polish the glass because these are also designed to be able to polish glass, your glasses, your lenses. Okay. Paradox, let me know if whoever lost this needs it back. I'll send it right back to you. See, if you're gonna get something wrong, let it be a bonus, right? But anyway. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the cable management. I mean, you look at a glance, this is super clean. All right. Also, thank you, Paradox, for not only using Lee & Lee unit fans, but doing it the right way and getting the reverse flow fans so that they look perfect on the inside. But this just pivots open and there is your cable management, which, as you can see, there is a ton of space here for cable management. Okay. Now, I had something that I was going to be doing here, but this is what I'm talking about when I say the Edge power supply here. Normal power supplies, you're going to have your connectors facing in this way, but this leverages the fact that it's a dual chamber case so that you can easily plug in all those extra connectors, the cables that were sent along by Paradox, which, by the way, system integrators, you need to include those with your PCs. That is something that could be critical for resale of the PC. It belongs to the customer. Ship them along. Let them opt out if they don't want them. All right. But yeah, and you guys keep those cables. That's why you keep everything in the same box. You know exactly where to look when you're like, oh man, I want to get a new RGB thing and controller, but I need what is this? SATA power. I already took my SATs. Well, you need to know where those connectors are. Keep everything in one box. I implore you. All right. But these are really nice cables that come with this. I'm really liking this power supply more and more, honestly. Quite nice. Any dual chamber case, I'm recommending these pretty much. Because they're individually sleeved cables with actual built-in cable combs. It's really nice. But no, this is perfectly good cable management. What I like about this cable management is that it is serviceable. You can easily track a cable for something that maybe this fan isn't lighting up or whatever. Easy to track here, easy to figure out where it is, and easy to troubleshoot, particularly for Paradox's tech support to troubleshoot over the phone. And using the in-case actual tools for cable management is nice. Now, there is a zip tie here, which is a quick way to do cable management. One downside to this, I mean, most customers are never gonna see this, but you do have to have some kind of tool to cut these, and you don't necessarily, if you're inexperienced, you don't want cutting implements close to your electrical cables. that is not good. So I wouldn't recommend the use of these. I would just recommend the use of more Velcro straps if you're trying to get a quickly tie your cables together. I see you have this one here. That's part of the case. I don't see that this one was necessary, but hey, that's all good. It's really otherwise a very professional job. I see the use of them up here as well. These are very quick to do, and I get that, but it's also right next to this. Like, I don't see this as being important other than during the actual build when you're trying to keep stuff together. So that's a note I would make right there. If you're going to do something like this, I mean, I personally, for my PCs, I'll use zip ties. But something like this with so much room to work with, go Velcro straps if you can. Does Paradox come visit live streams? Well, Arpit, who is the owner of Paradox Customs, is currently traveling, so I don't think he'll be coming by. I don't know if I said hi, Zelmov, but hi, Zelmov. Links, it's good to see you too, bud. Smash that like button. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. Easier to throw in the attic that way. Very true, Adam. Or hurricanes coming your way, you rebox and put it in many, many trash bags. Very true. And then it floats away because you trap the air in there. You want it airtight. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Plus, you know, if you wear sunglasses or glasses in general, you got a chance of getting a free polishing bag for them. There you go. Seriously, if y'all need this back, just tell me. But okay. I see nothing else here. Now, this is what I was talking about. Let me see if I can get this without having to flip the whole thing over. ADF, what I was talking about earlier. These are the cables for your front I/O, and you can just move this. There's a screw right here. You unscrew that, and then you can move this to the side, to like the left side of the case, or the rear of the right side of the case. So however you orient this thing, you have access to. Okay, let's take a look at the other side of this. Put that GPU in and get moving. Oh yeah, that is a killer build right there. Look at that. Okay, so these just require a little bit of adjustment here and there. Now, one thing I was gonna say, and I'm gonna leave this up to 8F. All right, I got a couple little bonuses for you. First off, so I know your favorite color is orange. You told me that. I asked you because at first I wanted to customize the case. Because we did switch some things around. We didn't quite have the time to do that. But I did order these. And you can let me know if you want them. I can just send them back. But those are some power supply cable extensions in very orange. The orangest orange that ever orange, I think. I believe these are actually blacklight reactive too. They're so orange. They keep me safe while jogging at night. As a Riddler we'd all like to forget about would have said. So I can swap these out if you want. Do you have a video for unboxing Alexander PC? Asks Burning Pulse. Yes, I do. I have a couple of them. They're way back in the box. But yeah. So these are individually sleeved cables. The one downside to these, the ones that I could get that had instead the white plastic connectors instead of the black were like 2 weeks out. Wouldn't have gotten them in time. These were overnighted. So that's an option. You can tell me if you want that. And maybe I can do them off stream too. Like we can leave it like this for the stream. X870 Aorus with 9800X3D. The Great Cyrus? Actually, no. This PC is not for someone who's just going to game. This PC is for someone who's going to be, yes, gaming, but also streaming. And we're talking about someone who streams and makes content for a living and making content, as I just spoiled for you right there. So, content creator, streamer, and yes, gamer. So, 9800 X3D would not quite cut it for video editing, right? The problem with something like, say, you know, I needed to address this at some point, so let's talk about it now. Because I have a bit of, I take a bit of issue with the current, let's say, tone on the whole Intel versus AMD thing. Because look, I like X3D CPUs just as much as the next person. Once you go over 8 cores, it kind of becomes a bit of a mess in one specific circumstance that matters a whole lot in this case right here. Well, also, yes, literally in this case. As soon as you start a game, if you have the 9950 X3D, the new darling, the 16 cores, 32 threads with 3D cache on one of those, on 8 of those cores, one of the chiplets, yada, yada, yada. The moment you start a game, you don't have a 16 core CPU. You have a 9800 X3D because 8 of those cores shut down, called core parking. Now, for the average streamer, that's not a problem. But if you, once you start to get to where you're running a lot of stuff during your stream, okay, you know, you're not just running OBS and a game, you're also running, say, Discord, Spotify. Maybe you're running a 3D application. I used to actually stream using a custom 3D environment that I would use. And all of those things, it adds on, it adds on, it adds on. And having the extra cores would be really nice, but AMD says, no, we're shutting 8 of those down. You have a gaming CPU now, even though you're not just gaming. So what do we have in here? 24 cores of content creation and streaming goodness. It is the Intel Core Ultra 200S or Core Ultra 9, 285K. 24 cores, 24 threads because they get rid of hyperthreading, right? But 24 cores, 24 threads, but this thing is a video editing monstrosity, okay? And guess what happens when you're streaming and you turn on a game? You don't lose any cores. Because wouldn't that be dumb? That would be dumb. So you guys have to understand something. Like, there's times when AMD is not the right answer. And there's times where, and actually right now it's a lot of times where Intel's not the right. If you're just gaming, Intel's not the right answer. Okay? But there's a lot of people out there who don't just game. Yeah, gaming PCs are the #1 segment of the market, but like 45% of the people who come to me for help with PCs want to stream. That's almost half. So if you have the mentality that only this brand is good and this other brand is never good, regardless of circumstances, do me a favor and don't make PC recommendations to other people. It's fine to have that kind of opinion, but if it's such a strong opinion that you refuse to change your mind when someone else's situation is different, that's probably when you shouldn't be making recommendations if you're not willing to have an open mind and truly analyze what's best for that person, not you, but the other person. Because you see, guys, a lot of people who make recommendations aren't recommending what you would like or what's right for you. They're recommending what they like or what's right for them. And that's someone who should maybe, you know, have a good time, do your thing, enjoy your system that's right for you, but understand that it's not right for everybody. The Great Cyrus. Intel, no, not like this emote. What did AMD do for you that has you like this? Like Intel, listen up, guys. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a perspective here, okay? Intel for years was told by content creators, hey, cool gaming performance, but they're too hot and they use too much power. What did Intel do with Core Ultra 200S? They run cooler. They're more efficient. And what did everybody do? It's not at the top of the gaming charts. This is what we asked for, people. This is exactly what we asked for. We wanted that performance, and these are comparable to 14th gen performance, but with less power and less heat. That's kind of nuts. Is it at the top of the charts? No, but stop letting those charts be everything. You don't need what's at the top of the charts. A lot of y'all are moving on to 1440p gaming. You know what an X3D chip does for you there? Freaking nothing. If you're gaming at 1440p or 4K, the CPU hardly matters. And if it's a $500 or $600 or $700 CPU, you're probably not gaming at 1080p where the CPU actually matters. So don't listen to just all the content out there, all those opinions that sort of the echoing chamber, right? The echo chamber where it's like, well, our charts don't lie. They don't lie. But the story they tell is not the whole story. The only benchmark that matters for gamers is enjoyment. The only benchmark that matters. And in this case, this is not just gaming. This has other purposes in which Intel is going to do better for less money. There you go. If you guys have your bingo cards out, your Braythorn bingo cards out, just go ahead and stamp rant right there. The Bray rant. It happened. You were here. Good job. Less TDP, less heat equals AMD. Less cores too when you start a game. Seriously, the 9800X3D is an 8-core CPU for $480 in 2025. It sucks for everything but gaming. It doesn't suck for everything but gaming. But compared to something like this, someone who's going to use their PC for professional applications, it sucks. Sorry. Because that's not the right context for it. It flourishes in the right context. But that's not every context. That's what context means. Anyway. Welcome to the Braythorn channel where I yell about computer stuff. Now, another thing I needed to do, because Paradox could not get the correct RAM kit in time, because generally if you're going to be editing video professionally, I recommend starting at 64 gigs of RAM. Capacity is king when it comes to video editing. And so they sent it. They were like, okay, well, we'll send it with a 32 gig kit. I'm going to take that kit and we're going to put in this 64 gig kit of DDR5 6000 CL30. This is the ideal kit for Ryzen 7000 and 9000 series. Yes, but that's not what this is. This right here is Intel. And Intel doesn't even care that much about RAM. It just so happens that I have this kit. So there you go. So this kit would work for both Intel or AMD, which makes it an awesome kit from Kingston. Kingston provided this to me a long time ago for pre-built rebuilt, which got set back, but thank you, Kingston, for that. It's going in the system. So that's a really, really versatile kit of RAM right there. If it says XMP, it's good for Intel. If it says Expo on it, it can usually do Expo or XMP. It can usually do both. Starting with a rant, heck yes, the night's getting good. Well, we're an hour in, so I don't know if I would say starting. So by the way, do you guys want to know what has been editing all those videos on and streaming on and creating all that content on? Let me know if I got this right. That would be a Ryzen 3700X 8-core CPU, 32 gigs of DDR4, and a 1080p. Which one was it? The Mini? Yeah, GTX 1080 Mini. Sorry, did I say 1080p? GTX 1080 Mini with a 1 terabyte SSD. Yeah. Going from that to a 24-core content creation monster like the 285K and a 5080 with 64 gigs of DDR5 6000, yeah, you're going to have a good time. Hello, Zintech. How's it going? Core parking is for the Ryzen 9 with 2 chiplets. That is correct, Rurutu. Oh, it's because Skeeter was asking about the 9800X3D. It doesn't have core parking because it can't have core parking because it doesn't have dual chiplets. Now, we should talk about this motherboard because goodness gracious, what a gorgeous motherboard. I do regret to take out the white kit of RAM that's really nice and put in a black kit of RAM. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Really, the functionality is what's going to matter when it comes to the memory. Pretty small component in the grand scheme of things. OLED monitors don't come in 1080p. Ooh, wait, what? I missed stuff in YouTube chat, my bad. What's up, Org Chaos? Well, Gigabyte does go with their historically orange lights, just like old Be Quiet fans. True. All they want to do is, when I was talking about, True Anonymous is talking about when I was going through my rant, all they want to do is recommend stuff that they like, but that I might not like. Very true. That you have to sort of leave that behind when you start recommending things. Looking at the views of my videos, some get a few thousand views, some get 200,000 views. It doesn't matter. I just have to take just as much care when I'm giving advice to thousands of people who are going to spend their hard-earned money based on the things I say. So ego can't be part of that, other than the fact that it does boost the ego to know people are listening to me when it comes to it. But it's more than that. It is nerve-wracking. It's a huge responsibility to be in that position, and I take it very seriously. Yeah, you got to pay attention. Here, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. When looking for a RAM kit, what you need to look at is the labeling. Because here, you'll notice that this kit says Intel and AMD right there. So this kit is perfectly capable of both XMP and Expo, which is nice. Look at that white PCB. This is a gorgeous motherboard. And in go those that 64 gig RAM kit right there. Now, a general rule, you need to line up these notches, these tabs here. Hello, and yeah, maybe focus. Well, you can see them anyway. The tabs right there with the notches in the RAM. But generally, the sticker side is going to go towards your CPU. But that's not always the case. There are very few exceptions to that, but they do exist. So be cautious about that. Man, this guy yammers so much. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm getting to it. I promise. Now, storage on this should be a 2 terabyte PCIe Gen 4 M.2 drive. And this motherboard, all I got to do is this. Check this out. It's a quick release here. Actually, let me back up a little bit to show this. Cool thing here for adding storage, it's very easy. There's a quick release right there. Bam. And then this just comes up and out. And there you have 1, 2, 3, 4 more sockets for M.2 drives. ADEF, how do we feel about that? I think we may have to stick with the white cables. They look so nice. That's okay. I can return them, ADEF. It's cool. It's Amazon. They take anything back. Yo, sick PCs, what's up? Why are you putting RAM in this PC? Just got here. I just explained that a bit ago. They weren't able to get this was a pretty quick build, and they weren't able to get the proper RAM kit from Kingston in time. So I was like, I've got it. Just send it over. But yeah, 5 M.2 sockets on this thing. One of them's already got 2 terabytes. So like, you could put 8 terabyte drives in all of those. I'm not going to judge you for that. I don't have any 8 terabyte drives, right? Help you out. But yeah, that just clicks down. I love that. But don't forget, ADEF, when you add more storage in here, okay, don't forget to remove the plastic covers off of those thermal pads right there. Okay. Clicks right in. This also has a quick release right there. Very nice. You don't need to mess with it though. Let's look at the I/O really quick. Okay, apparently the front glass wasn't being held in, so still, it's fine. My bad. I guess I was just twisting this around a little too much. Okay. Looking at the rear I/O, this is pretty nice. You have dual Thunderbolt 4, because guess what? When you have Intel, you don't have to use USB 4 that might be compatible with Thunderbolt 4. It's full-on Thunderbolt 4, okay? Dual USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports, 4 5 gigabit per second Type A ports, and 4 USB 2.0. You know, that's where you're going to put something like your mouse, keyboard, headset, things like that in the slower ports there. This is 5 gigabit per second Ethernet, and you have your Wi-Fi 7 right here. Mic in, mic line out right there, and your SPDIF right here, okay? And that's a lot of I/O, but it could be more. So what am I going to do about that? Well, that's when the next little bonus comes in. And honestly, Thick PCs already agrees with me on this because they carry these, but I think every SI should carry these as an option. What happened to my camera? Okay, that's cool. All right, 1 second. Sorry, everybody. We're gonna work now? Yes. Goody gumdrops. Is that too close? All right. Okay. So what I was gonna say was this. Every SI should carry these. I recommend them all the time. This is a simple PCIe, single lane PCIe, but it gives you 7 USB 3.0 or 5 gigabit per second type A ports. And there is no additional power needed from the power supply. This just gets its power from the PCIe bus, manages it itself as power management right there, and separate USB controllers just for this. Goes through the chipset, but does not add in the extra USB controller and nonsense you got to worry about with a hub. So I'm going to toss this thing in there. This is just something that I had, so I'm going to throw it in there for you. And you have one thing that was specifically requested by ADEF, and this is, you guys have heard me talk about this kind of thing, so it makes a lot of sense. PCIe slots near the bottom for a capture card. Well, guess what? You got 2 of them there. One of them is still going to be open for your capture card. Another one's going to give you a lot more USB. So we like that. It's better to have it and not need it than the other thing. Yeah, right here. Oh, oh. Where's it going? Where's it going? All right. I keep it on its toes. It doesn't have toes though, but so this is just plug and play. Now let me ask you, actually, would you prefer the USB card be on the bottom slot or the second from the bottom? Might as well ask, so you don't have to do it again later. Thank you for letting me know it froze, guys. I'm sorry about that. Robin Lore, can I have this PC? I have a bad laptop. This PC already belongs to somebody. Also, let me know if that works somewhere else. Also, don't spam. You said that twice in chat, and that is a real quick way to get on my bad side. Heard the Windows ding. Yeah, it was that. Camera malfunction, bingo, check. There you go. Between Windows and OBS, something's bound to stop working, even if you test before going live recording. Guys, there's so many of you out there who have said you want to stream. Be prepared to troubleshoot live. That's like half of streaming. The other half of streaming is being late. Probably bottom slot, you got it. Oh, no. There you go. Wait, you want to go that way? All right, cool. Okay, I'll put that with the rest of your stuff. And this is just plug and play. It's always funny to put a single PCIe X1 device into an X16 slot, but these should both be X4, actually, even though they fit full X16 devices. They're 4-lane. Okay, just line that up right there. There we go. There we go. And your capture card will hide that, so it doesn't matter that it's going to be not matching the color scheme. Of course, this is going to be loose in the case. I might twisty tie it down somewhere just temporarily while it's shipping. But this is your 12V 2x6 connector right here. This needs to, as you probably have heard, needs to be plugged in 100% clicked in all the way into the GPU. And it's just going to be sort of just there. I might just zip tie it to itself or something, or to another cable, so it's just there. And yeah, I did get your feedback on the, I did already say about the cables. That's totally fine. It did this last night. I don't remember the webcam messing up last night, but hey. I keep forgetting that I want to put a fan on that thing because it's a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is how I get that, you know, that action, right? But it does, I think it's overheating sometimes. Does the GPU only need one 2x6? Yes. This is a 5080. This does not have the 575 watt TGP of the 5090. Honestly, like 5090s are cool, but like it's so nerve-wracking to know that the cable's rated for 600 watts and the GPU's rated for 25 watts less than that. It's so freaky to think about. You ain't gonna have to worry about that. I honestly am surprised that I didn't see a bunch of system of add-in board partners like your Gigabyte, MSI, all that, making these with dual 12V2x6 or 12V2x6 plus PCIe 6+2 cables, your standard graphics card power, just for supplemental power. I'm really surprised you don't see that. But it might have been pressure from NVIDIA because, oh, what? You think our connector's not good enough? You know, who knows? They certainly have a reputation for being nice to their add-in board partners, from what I hear. So surely that can't be the case. Well, it might be. Don't call me Shirley. Is it 5080? This is the Ventus 3X. So it's an MSI card. And would you just look at it? It is super clean. All right. This is a clean AF card. And look at how much cutout there is for the pass-through cooling. It even covers some of the middle fan, even gets some of that. This is going to be an exceptionally well-cooled card. But it's not incredibly, like, chunky. This is close to the size of the Founders Edition card. All right, for comparison, check it. Of course, Founders Edition cards are straight up 2-slot, right? But this is the Founders Edition 5070, which is a tiny card. Now, the 5080 obviously is a lot longer, lots more cooling capacity, but in thickness, they're almost the same. Look at that. This is maybe a 2.5-slot card. We got to remove the... They did have these screws here ready for you. So you don't have to go hunting for them. But I do need to remove them before I install this. Now, one thing you're looking at here, these are all Lee & Lee unit fans. And what's cool about these are scooped differently, they're shaped differently because they are reverse flow. Same for the bottom. And when you are speccing out your system, your build, if you want to do reverse flow, you need to know exactly how many of each type of fan to order. That can be complicated. Paradox did it all correctly here. These fans interlock, so there's fewer cables to manage, and the RGB interaction is super cool with these. You can get very cool custom things going on. I might try to throw a little custom program on it together for you before I ship it out to you. Okay, there we go. That clicks right in, won't come out now. And then our screws go in. I've seen you show that card a million times. This is the first thing I've seen it installed. A new bingo space unlocked. Well, not this card. This is a newer one. I have the other one just lying around. But I am going to be installing it in the system here soon. So I need to order another one just to show off during the streams when I recommend them to people. That's very true. Very true, Skeeter. Galax did have a Hall of Fame with the dual 16-pin. That's true. They're probably not allowed to make changes to the PCB. Well, no, this is not a reference PCB. They make their own PCBs. But they might not have permission to mess with, like, the power design, I guess, other than overclocking it. So this just goes right up here. And I'm guessing they actually had it based on the way the cable's trained, they actually had it routed like this. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I might have had it come up this way from the bottom, but this kind of does tuck it behind the GPU, which you might like. Yeah, the way the cable's trained, that's definitely how they had it. You want to hear that little click, which you might not have caught on the mic, but you cannot pull it out. And once you test pulling it out, you plug it back in, push it all the way back in. And you sort of get these positioned how you want them. Keep the cable nice and neat. This is a nice cable, though. This is such a nice power supply. The cables that come with it are insanely good. Lee killed it, man. And they're not overly expensive either, which is nice. Okay. Okay, we're just about ready to power this thing up, meaning I need to set up our call here in just a second, 8F. And you guys get to hear from the man himself. I am going to get to sit down. But we're going to power this thing up and see it in all its RGB glory. I should have told them to make it orange. Oh well. Now, one point about this case I want to make is this. This bar here is removable. If you really want to showcase what's inside there, it's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, bars out. Just do not lean on it like I am right now if the glass is not installed once this bar is removed. Did I take it off, chat, just for the power up? What do you think? Back, sorry, I asked if that was an Intel CPU. Yes, it is. Core Ultra 9 285K. I want to switch to this myself for video editing. My 14900K is... it's to the point where I'm pretty sure a lot of the bugs I'm experiencing while streaming are from the CPU. I'll probably leave it in, to be honest. Okay, cool. You got it. I have seen it to where people will put like an RGB strip on the inside there, but I don't think you're gonna be needing to add any RGB to this thing, to be fair. So we're gonna leave the glass off just for the power up procedure. One thing I want right now, guys, everyone who's watching on Twitch, if you're subbed, take a look at your emotes, and I want you to think about what would be the best emote to use when we see that RGB turn on, that PC come up. And, you know, I'm not personally super RGB obsessed. I appreciate it. I like it when it's tastefully implemented, and it can be too much at times, but I do like it, mostly because I can turn it to purple. But anyway, if you like it, I got an emote just for y'all. Of course, I threw that all on top of my cable that I need. Get a sip of water here. I'm too much of an anxious person to take it out. Okay. All right, I feel you. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Paradox Customs. To be frank, there was like it's been really hard to work with any companies right now because it's hard to get GPUs. Even if you're a system integrator, it's easier than at retail, but it's not easy. Put it that way. But once I told Arpit, owner of Paradox, about this, he was all about it. He was all about this. So much appreciation to Arpit and the team over there. Arpit was out of town. The team built this. His employees there built this one. He didn't give it the personal Arpit magic or anything. It's the Paradox magic. So, let me set right here, get some of this lighting off, and away we go. Start this link, go. Any day. I haven't opened this up. No, that's a little bit much. Nice and dramatic. I think the other one would be there. Sorry, give me a second. There we go. All right. And powering up in 3, 2. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I was supposed to get on a call with you for this. I almost forgot. I was like, oh yeah, you can be on the call when we power it up. My bad. Everybody, look, I know. April Fool's was yesterday. My bad. Okay. All right. That's funny. Okay. So let me get on. Yes, mark is red. Thank you. Okay. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, so that's a me problem. 1 second. 1 second. It was going to the Osmo Pocket 3, which has speakers on it, by the way. That's awesome. Okay, how's that? I can. Let me get out of this. And see if I can pop this out. Not. No. Okay, so let's just do it this way. Okay, it's gonna be a second, guys, while I just get this going over here. Okay, so wow, I made that really small window with the snapping is insane. OBS was very small, so the snapping was very insane. Okay. There we go. That's 8F, everybody. Hey, all right, cool. So, I mean, after all of that waiting, by the way, can y'all hear him too? I'm gonna turn off the music real quick. Can y'all hear him too? Can you talk real quick? Okay, they're not getting that. They're not getting that. So I'm gonna redo this real quick. So by the way, Rodecaster Pro 2, I don't know that there's anyone I'd recommend it to. It's really complicated when it comes to getting stuff like this working. Really annoying. Yeah, I don't think anybody. Okay. Okay, don't worry, chat. This is just like I said. This is gonna be stuff that I got to do. I mentioned I was gonna have some scuff things to fix while I was doing this. This is one of them. So let's see if I can just add audio output capture. Okay, and set it to that. Okay, try talking.
Yes, talking, chatting. Hello,
And
hello.
There we go. All right. Yeah, there we go. Now you guys can hear him. Okay, give me a sibilance or something, just something to get a
sibilance, snakes, serpentry.
Okay, cool.
Sababab.
That even better. Okay, except that now it's not showing what it's supposed to. 1 second, we'll get it back, and I just gotta modify this. Move it over. We are so back.
We're so back.
All right. Okay, what's up, man?
How's it going, dude?
Good. It's funny because we haven't really gotten to properly chat since
like
TwitchCon. Yeah, like half a year. It is. Oh my God, it's been half a year. It took a long time to get this going. I know.
I mean, look. The economy is complicated. Tariffs.
That's what I hear.
Etc.
Yeah.
I look. I mean, the fact that this is happening at all is really crazy to me, and amazing. And for those of you that are looking for some kind of SI solution, Braythorn is your man. Okay.
I appreciate you very much. Thank you. As it's funny because I shouldn't be the exception. Coverage for pre-builts should be the rule rather than the exception. It's always driven me crazy that the majority of people are buying pre-built. The majority of content is DIY. Like what?
Right. I think it's
crazy.
probably some kind of disconnect born out of the fact that like DIY seems unapproachable at first glance, whereas pre-built seems more approachable because it feels more like traditional retail, even though it's not.
Yeah. By the way, I got a little. Here we go. This is gonna be better right here. Hey. All right, how's that? There we go. A little bit better.
Oh,
than
nice.
Better than the headboard one. Yeah, it's a funny market. It's a unique market. Before I was like pre-built are fine. Once I started to meet some of the people that run the SIs, and I mean, it's just they're enthusiasts, they're PC enthusiasts. They're building computers for a living. If they didn't like it, they would go nuts.
Right.
So they're a lot like the people that want to get into this. That they got into it and they're like, I'm gonna do this for a living, and it's really cool. And every one of these SIs has something unique to offer. Paradox is really cool. I like a lot of the aesthetics they do. As you can see, they build some of the cleanest looking PCs, and for content creators and streamers, that can be really important because you'll often have it in your setup, in your background, you know, or as part of it if you have that side angle. But anyways, I made everybody wait to power this thing up. Let's take a look at what this thing looks like turned on. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Count me down.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lock it in.
Oh,
I'm on the stream delay. Oh my God.
Did you just get flashbanged? I think
I did.
Yep.
It's very bright.
Oh yeah, that's. Oh yeah, you're a streamer now. I didn't know if you knew this.
Yeah, that's pretty substantial. That's pretty substantial LED-age.
Yeah, look at that along there. Super clean, super nice. And of course,
the trim along the top edge is insane.
Yeah.
And the bottom edge. Wow, look at that.
Beautifully diffused, all of that. Yeah. And of course, this is a Lee & Lee case with Lee & Lee fans and a Lee & Lee cooler. So like it's all one software to control it, which is something that we would worry about, right? And I think everybody should think about. Of course, I can always recommend Signal RGB. Signal RGB is awesome. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It's a cool technology. Hold on, let me listen real quick. Make sure there's no noises. Okay, so when a PC is shipped and you turn it on for the first time, you're going to hear little waterfall sounds as bubbles are worked out of the pump, stuff like that, as it sort of, because when it's being moved around, there's a little bit of air in the radiator, the all-in-one liquid cooler. That just works its way back up. So I was listening to that. I was like, okay, that's that normal sound you get. But yeah, no, they cooked. They absolutely cooked with this.
I've never had a liquid cooled machine. I'm on my second or third DIY.
Yeah.
At this point, I've built a couple of computers in my time, and I've always been so frightened by liquid cooling because obviously, you know, the reptile brain goes like, oh, liquid plus computer equal bad. But
that's
I'm
not
excited
reptile brain. I think that's science brain. That's sure, normal. But it's a normal thing to think.
Technically, if the water, you know, if the fluid has no electrolytes in it, then you could pour water on your computer all day.
True, right. It's going to be the impurities that are going to be conductive, not the water itself. And hell, there's ways that you can there's submersive cooling, which is really cool, by the way.
Oh, that's fun. That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess
my question, I think for now, let's just do the fun stream. I think once the PC is in my hands, I'll have a myriad of questions of upkeep and all that good stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. What if I've got questions? Because if you've got,
it's your stream, man. We can do whatever you'd like.
You're one of the more unique gaming content creators out there. Not gonna like. There are people who do video game essays, right?
Sure.
You do video game math tests, not essays.
Yeah.
And you got to show your work. It is
right. Yeah.
It is very unique. And I really enjoy it. And also it's so obvious that you would have done the thing with Kyle Hill. That's what he does. He does a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching him way back when he was just starting out with that stuff and doing where he had like the clear glass, and he
Yeah,
would do
the glass and the marker. He was at Nerdist, right?
Yes,
I think
it was Nerdist. And
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is ambidextrous, because he'd be like doing it with both hands, and I was like, this guy is, he's on a higher level here. Like, this guy's a smart cookie, and enjoys being smart, because not everybody, he genuinely takes joy in it. And but yeah, he'll take the stuff we all love to watch and enjoy and game and all that stuff, and he ruins it by adding science. So. He's that guy who's watching Star Wars, like, what? How does it's a plasma? Like, how is it just like not going everywhere and continuing on? That's not how light works. And everyone's like, shh. In the movie theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The Neil deGrasse Tyson of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh man, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's someone who I would like. I would love to meet. I got to meet Bill Nye, by the way, once, and that was really.
Oh,
cool.
really? That's awesome.
Yeah, he came to a talk at the university here. But anyways, I'm getting too far afield here. I'm just setting stuff up, chat.
Can I guess the keyboard? Is that a GMMK Pro 75?
Yes, it is. Good guess. That's.
I'd be liking keyboards, Bray. I'd be
right.
loving keyboards.
Okay, tell me what this one is then.
I'll wait for it to come out on stream. Split build.
Split ergo with a tenting kit. This is ergonomic right here. None of that. None of this.
It's not from KBD fans, is it?
No, this is a Digma Raise.
The
Raise 2 is wireless, actually. But yeah, the split ergo thing is. No one thinks about it until it's too late. And you have to have it, because then that's me. I typed for 25 years, and then I was like, oh, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
It works for this, though. This works for this. This is fine for this. Okay, just get that hooked up. So chat, I am setting stuff up while we're talking nerdy stuff. Don't worry about it. But okay, so tell me, how did you decide that instead of just playing Pokemon, you wanted to dig into the statistics, into the math? What made you decide that content needed to be a thing? Because it worked, obviously.
Well, so I have a science background. My undergrad and my master's are both in physics. And I also have a gaming background. I've been streaming on Twitch since 2012, just as a hobby. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, as with so many other streamers, it became my job.
Right.
And I think it's no secret. It was sort of a severalfold thing. Like, I think it's no secret that, it's good to diversify.
Right.
In many aspects of life, but in content creation, it's good to not be pigeonholed onto one platform. You know that.
Oh yeah.
And so I knew I needed to do something YouTube related, and I'm fine with just uploading my streams. I have a channel for that. That's all well and good. But I wanted to make things. I also come from a theater background. I write, I perform.
Theater kid, like 100%.
Exactly. So like I'm big on writing. I'm big on performing. And I really love education videos. Probably my favorite niche on the internet is education videos. 3 Blue 1 Brown is probably the best YouTube channel that exists.
Nice.
Like any math or science based, Steve Mold, Veritasium, Kyle Hill, 3 Blue 1 Brown.
Technology Connections is a fun one too.
Oh, Technology Connections, the GOAT.
I've never watched a video that was so interesting centered around the color brown.
Oh, he's I've never looked at Christmas lights the same way.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
So like all of the, Simone Yetch, all of these creators are really phenomenal.
Clearly we enjoy a lot of the same content.
Yes. And so I wanted to do something in the education space, but for those of you who are budding content creators, and Bray has done this well also, you need to find something that doesn't exist yet in order to find some modicum of success. Because if you fill a niche that already exists, you're going to be competing with 100,000 people.
Oh yeah. I mean, what is it like? How many hours of footage is uploaded? Or how many years of footage are uploaded every hour? Like 75 years of footage, videos uploaded every hour.
Crazy, yeah.
It's insane. But also remember that millions upon millions of people are watching too.
Right.
So it seems hopeless at that point. But the thing is, no two people are the same.
Right.
You will find similarities and common grounds, but every single person has some kind of unique thing. And once you can kind of figure out, like, I love to just recommend stuff to people. I realize this at a young age, that when I recommend something and someone's like, I got the thing you recommended and I really liked it. So just like dopamine, instant. I was like, whoa, that feels great. Now I do that for a living in an industry where it's like really hard for newbies to navigate. There's a lot of like, there are some, not a lot. Okay. That's the wrong thing to say. There are a few predatory companies out there, but a lot of really good ones, and deciding can be really hard. And option paralysis is a very real phenomenon.
Yeah.
So, but you're very right though. Like there are things out there that nobody's doing. And even if someone's doing them, you might have a unique way of doing that thing.
Yeah, you bring your own uniqueness for sure, but also like what the concept is important too.
Right.
And so I wanted to do education content, but I wanted to combine it with my other big passion, which is video games and speed running, and because that's my life outside of science and technology or whatever.
Well, yeah, you know who told me, because I was talking to someone and they were like, "Oh, you need to talk to Adaf. He needs a new computer." It was Andy.
Yeah, it was Andy, my buddy Andy.
Yeah,
we wouldn't be here without Andy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, like, I would say, oh, he's one of my favorite speedrunners, but like, he's one of everybody's favorite speedrunners. Like, whatever, it's Andy.
A great dude.
Yeah. Do you think that that we should help him out next? What do you think? Would you get him a Glizzy themed PC?
Hey, it can't hurt to reach out. I think he just built a new DIY last year, but hey, that means it's a year out of date, baby.
Oh man, that's it. It's ancient. No. It's funny because I talk about how I actually just did a thing where it was tech content creator hot takes with Nerd on a Budget. Did this video, and there were a bunch of us in it. And my thing was something I said earlier, which is for gamers, the only benchmark that matters is enjoyment. Imagine me, a reviewer, saying that, but it's true. And I don't focus on benchmarks other than
that's how it is with, like,
testing.
that's how it is with like, that's how I feel about, this is going to sound annoying, but like wine or beer also, like you can be really snobbish about wine or beer. And sure, maybe the more expensive bottle is better. But if the $20 bottle of Josh Pinot Noir brings you happiness, then that's really all that matters. Like like
bottle,
obviously
box.
Yeah, there you go, baby. But like, that seriously, like when it comes to whether it's alcohol or food or video games or, life's things that we choose to do for enjoyment rather than like our job or whatever. Yeah, maybe there are objectively higher quality objects, but if the lower quality object means something to you or brings you fun and it's cheaper, like that sounds like a win-win to me.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, with a lot of this content, it feels like we're being told, when you see the top of the chart, the natural desire is to get the thing that's at the top. Right. But there's other stuff that comes with that. Higher heat output, higher power draw. That means you need a more powerful UPS if you want to safely power it and not have it die when you're doing a BIOS update. It requires a bigger power supply. It requires better cooling. And not everybody's going to do that. They're just going to shove the thing in their PC and just like, but that's where system integrators come in and why they're such a great place to start. Yeah. But the funny thing though is, talking about doing something no one else is doing, I kind of understand why no one's doing the pre-built thing. I mean, I've been doing this for 4.5 years now, and I'm at, and I don't obsess over numbers. As long as I'm helping people, I'm helping people, that's good. And I can get by, good. But I've plateaued kind of at 40K before this new series that I've been struggling to get out, but this new series I'm doing, because there's a reason for it. Someone watches a video, they buy a pre-built PC, they're done.
Right. There's not much like longevity from the consumer standpoint.
The videos are not evergreen because deals and stuff expire very quickly.
Sure.
Once you have your PC, you kind of want to avoid hearing about great other deals because that's like baked in buyer's remorse, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that means that people don't subscribe, and it makes sense. Well, I mean, obviously some do. I'm here, I'm doing this, but that means that it doesn't lend itself to growing a huge base. Where it's like, where with you, it's like, so what other concept is this guy going to come out with for a video? Like, can the Elite Four beat the Elite Four? Whatever. It's like, what? Who thinks that? You're like, I do, and it's very interesting. And if you can't get the slope, just get the derivative. I'm like, okay, just like that, just like that. Okay, sure. I didn't. I'm more of a creative brain, not a math brain. It never worked out for me. That's why I was.
See, I think everybody's a math brain somewhere. They just haven't, the right strings haven't been tugged yet.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. But I mean, for me, it was like, this thing does all the math for me. I'm good.
True.
But I have a deep appreciation for those who are eloquent in the language of math. It's just, I have enough trouble with the regular language. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, let's let me get this. I can copy this source over to the other one. We can, if you want to hang out while I do it, just run a couple of stress tests or anything like that, or maybe even just change the RGB. It's up to you. But really, I just wanted to get a little bit of feedback from you, see what you thought, and just let the people know who you are and what you do, because I mean they're going to see this thing at one point on your channel. It'll be like, hey, look at this thing I got, right? So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so just why don't you give yourself a shout out and let everybody know what they can look for with you, where they can find you.
So I'm Adef, as Bray so kindly said. I make on YouTube at least. I make sort of math and science explainer videos that are disguised as Pokemon videos. My goal being, I want to connect an audience who does not typically seek out education content to education content, because I think the smarter we are, or the more stuff we know as a population, the better. I think this is going to sound perhaps overly political or annoying, but the death of a democracy is stupid people. So I think
that can be a general statement.
The death of X is stupid people.
Hey, we're not allowed to use that letter anymore. I think it's trademarked.
Oh right, sorry, X the everything website. Apologies.
Right, variable. Just say generic variable.
Yes. So the death of 3 underscores is Yeah, and that's not to say that I think people are stupid by any means. It's just to say that I think I think people, when they reach a certain age, understandably disengage from learning. Like, I think a lot of people they're like, oh, well, I went to high school, I went to college, I'm good. But I think it's good to just learn stuff. And it's exciting and fun. And it also feels crazy to have that like button click aha moment with a piece of math, where you're like, oh, I never really thought about it like that. And so my goal is to not only create something that's entertaining and fun to watch, but also maybe can give you one of those button click moments at least like once a month.
Right.
Because those are my favorite moments when I learn things. If I really don't understand a concept and then somebody says something that's like, gives me the shortcut, right?
Yeah.
Like gives me the shorter wire that gets me there quicker. That's my favorite thing in the world. There's nothing more satisfying than something clicking in your brain. And so I aim to do that through Pokemon. So that's my YouTube channel. I basically just do these like weird Pokemon videos that start with 5 minutes of math and then go into nonsense. And then, every once in a while a commenter's like, did I just get tricked? This is so stupid.
Well, right now, Reeve in Twitch chat says he tricks us into learning math. And honestly, that's a very kind trick to pull on people. It's nice.
There are worse tricks, I think. There are worse tricks. And then on Twitch, kind of a little bit of everything these days, but I came up through the world of speedrunning and challenge runs. That was my birthplace on Twitch, as it were. But these days, I don't know, man. Video games. Yeah.
I'm working on my Dread No Major Glitch any percent. Metroid Dread. It's so okay. My thing about speedrunning is a lot of the very precise inputs needed. I have essential tremors, so it's like I know I'm not going to be on the stage at any point. I'm doing it for fun.
You don't know that.
Well, it's not a regretful statement. It's sort of an observation on my part. It's like there are people who are really well suited to that. I will, but maybe they're not suited to talking about PCs like I am.
Sure.
What's a thing falsely attributed to Einstein about the fish and climbing a tree or whatever?
Something
like that. But I still, honestly, guys, for those of you out there who like to consume speedrunning content, or maybe you haven't yet, you need to see it. It's just like you'll appreciate games in a different way when you watch someone speedrun it, and then maybe you're like, "Huh, is there like a tutorial on how to do that?" Because that part's really hard for me. Just normal gaming with a few speedrunning tricks is so fun. Like, just like. If you do like you're playing Tears of the Kingdom and you learn the auto build glitch, right? Auto build cancel, and that you just zipping around the map like crazy, but everything else you do normally. That's why I watch a lot of speedrunners I watch, but of course other ones it's just like my favorite games like Andy. I love Link to the Past, Oats and Imid and all of them. I love Super Metroid and all that. Also, guys, randomizers are the best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Taking a game.
Great way to re-experience a game you love.
Yeah. If there's a game where like you love the movement and the mechanics like I do with Super Metroid, but it's tired. Like it's I just want to, whatever. Map randomizers for that are like just endless entertainment. But anyways, there's stuff like that out there. And so do you do a lot of I know I saw one video on your sort of video list where it was like, so I hadn't watched that one yet, but it said something about a speed run, like was it the hardest speed run I've done or something like that?
Wind Waker speed run thing that yeah.
But you don't post a lot of speed running content.
No, I originally had planned to do more than just Pokemon, but then I sort of just landed in the Pokemon niche very quickly, and I frankly don't really have any problem with that. I really love Pokemon a lot. Mm-hmm. But I plan on including some more. I mean, I talk about Pokemon speedrunning sometimes, since that overlaps enough.
Yeah.
But I plan on doing, in the future, once my platform is a little more established and I can branch out a little more without too much worry. I think I will be re-including some speedrunning stuff because there's so much interesting math to talk about in regards to speedrunning and just cool speedrunning shit that people don't know about. Sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to be cursing or not.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know where I got in the habit of not doing it, but I think I do have the it's admirable. Mature audiences thing on Switch anyway, but yeah, it's okay.
It's admirable, Bray. I
cuss all the time off camera. I don't know where it came from. I don't know.
I was watching a clip of mine recently. I was like, man, I swear a lot on stream. Like I am.
You don't look like you do, and that throws me off.
Well, because on my YouTube, I don't swear at all. Because I figure since Pokemon skews somewhat young.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I would like to keep swears out if possible. In fact, if a swear is in like a Twitch clip or something that I'm editing into a video, I'll like bleep it or whatever.
Yeah.
I also, there's like, hearsay that it decreases revenue on YouTube. Who knows how truthful that actually is.
Yeah. I know one thing. I used to not run mid rolls at all during streams. And then someone told me like, hey, the algorithm doesn't show your stream that much because it can't make much money off of it. So you should probably turn.
You're also leaving money on the table.
Yeah, it's like pennies per view.
True.
It's not a lot. Yeah. I'd rather people have a good time. Like if say someone like okay, okay. Obviously, I put a lot of work into my merch, and I think I like my merch and whatnot. If someone buys one piece of merch, that's like 2 years of watching ads.
Yeah, true.
So I would rather that you get something out of it that you can wear.
I would turn ads off on Twitch tomorrow if I could, but I can't.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Anyway, it's such a funny thing because I hate watching ads, yet I rely on them in a way.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, Bray. I wrote basically an entire play about how much I hate ad revenue and modern technology, and yet I profit from it immensely.
Yeah.
This is my least favorite object on the planet, and yet I subsist off of it and am criminally addicted to it.
Yeah.
Yes. The dichotomy of our our world of technology is so fascinating.
The duality of nerd, the duality of man.
I love technology, and yet it has brought me so much good and bad.
You should see my VOD from last night.
Oh, I heard
April Fooled myself. It was like I've never achieved this level of scuff, and I had to tell people I did not plan. This is not an April Fool's joke. I could not have planned this many things messing up on purpose. Don't give me that kind of credit. It was just one thing after another, man.
Streaming is just like that sometimes.
Yeah.
It really, you just have to fix like 10,000 problems. It's always like one step forward, two steps back with streaming.
Yeah, it is. And and that's one thing I warn people about if they're interested in streaming. I'm like, be prepared to troubleshoot. And viewers, people who watch streams constantly are used to it. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. But okay, I feel like I feel like we could probably, like we did at TwitchCon, I could probably talk your ear off and you can talk my ear off as well. By the way, I'm hoping to go back this year. Imagine you're probably going to be there. Yeah,
I'll be there. Let's definitely meet up for sure.
Dude, I need to go to a GDQ. I've been wanting to for years, but I don't know. Like this, I think a GDQ is or SGDQ this year is right around Computex or just after it, and it's like
the week after the 4th of July, I think, this year.
Oh, never mind. I don't think I could justify it. I'm having to drop everything to go to Taiwan for Computex. That's got to be my priority. But yeah, I got to go out to one of those sometime. But GDQX is always cool, and hang out there. Yeah. But of course, I'm going to be having to ship this thing out to you. I'm going to get some awesome B-roll of it first, so that we can I can put together a little video of it. And heck, maybe you can use some of it too if you don't want to have to take the time to.
Why not?
Yeah, right. But yeah, thank you so much for wanting to hang out and chat. I know you're a busy dude.
No, hell yeah, dude. Look, I mean, this. I could have just built a computer like that. That 100%. I am capable of it. I have done it several times, but I've just gotten to this point where I think a trait that is good to learn is that there are people smarter than you at many things. And this was a field where I'm getting to this point with content creation where I have a lot of needs. And I know that if I picked the parts and I built it, there would just be dangling things here and there where I could have optimized a little more or I could have squeezed a little more. And so I just think that this was an opportunity where basically, for those who don't know, last TwitchCon, I went to every SI on the show floor. I went to every PC
I didn't actually know you did that.
Okay, yeah. So before I talked to you, like the 2 days before, I talked to like every SI on the show floor. I talked to everybody that was selling any kind of PC component on the show floor and being like, here's what I do. Here's the problem I'm having because I want to make videos that require more computational power and I can't do them. Wouldn't it be cool to do an integration like that where I say this video would not be possible without blah? Right? Wouldn't that be cool? And I gave every person that breathes my email. And one or two reached out and then it wound up not being a good fit or they didn't really understand, blah, 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 blah. But Bray, just by sort of a chance meeting on the last day of TwitchCon, Andy was like, hey, Adef, you're looking for somebody that's trying to figure out, you should talk to this guy. And here we are. So look, I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am for this whole experience. I know that, please do not worry about the time it took or anything. I've been able to get all my projects out the door. We are so fine. And I'm just excited about this next step.
Y'all don't even know. Adef was super patient through this whole thing. And the thing is, and I know, of course you're getting like this big free PC. It's crazy. You don't have any obligations for it or anything like that. But at the same time, y'all got to understand that there are some people out there who, if you tell them one thing, and even if it's out of your hands, that thing doesn't happen that way, they don't mess with you anymore. They're done. But Adef was super patient, and I really appreciate that because the whole industry imploded. Like
I looked around, and you're a reputable guy. I mean, I did my research after we spoke, and like people speak highly of you. You exist in many spaces and seem to be well regarded. And look, I'm gonna trust you. If you told me there's gonna be a computer, I trust you that there's gonna be a computer.
Guys, he fell for it. Oh man.
And and here we are. And look, obviously it's an insane hookup that is going to really level up the game and is such a, one of those opportunities that only comes to content creators, which is obviously I'm going to be selfish and take it, but I, count my blessings that I'm in a position where I can harness it. But that doesn't mean that I don't feel obligated to, at least in one of my videos, shout you and Paradox out, because it's, it's an incredible machine. And we're gonna push her to her limits.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I think that Arpit over at Paradox is excited to because like he works with a lot of he does a lot of like very big and flashy collaborations. I'm talking about like basketball players and also large streamers and things like that. And I'm like, this thing is gonna get used to its full potential here. And this also, he understands like that's a new audience right there. Maybe they've never heard of you. Maybe they'll get to see what came out of this because he's going to make his content and say, hey, it's because of his PC. There you go. All right.
Right.
And I think he's excited about that. But the main thing is like this is a little inside baseball.
Sure.
I'm going to get PCs to review anyway, and I'm going to be giving I do giveaways and stuff for some of them. But sometimes they're like, we want you to hold on to it, and or we want you to send it back to us. And my thing is like, this is going to be a thing where my audience is going to look at it, and then it can go to someone who really needs it, and their audience gets to look at it. It's like a double thing for them. So everybody is happy in this. So yeah, I hope at no point where you're like, man, I don't know, I'm getting this whole thing for free and I don't have to do anything. Don't worry about that. It's
okay. Well, I do want to make sure that this is fiscally worth your time.
yeah. Well, no, don't. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're good. You know what? Just I don't know. So tell them if you go there, use code Braithorn. No, I'm just kidding. Don't even worry about that. That's all in my content. You don't have to sell your stuff with the codes or any stuff like that. It really doesn't. It really is not a thing. It's funny though. I do want to mention side thing. It took me forever to accept the fact that I can make money doing this.
Oh yeah.
I hate it. But so when people gift subs or donos or do things like that, they know at this point, chat knows at this point, it's almost a meme at this point that I don't know how to handle that very well, just other than gratitude. But like, I'm just like, man, I'm just talking about computers. I was going to do that anyway.
Money complicates things. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. But the cheat code turned out to be where, oh, you're saving money and supporting what I do at the same time. Holy crap. That's amazing. That's where I found my being okay with doing that. Nice. And also to do it with many different companies. So I'm not pushed to just recommend one because that's not right for everybody. Sure. Paradox is going to be right for a lot of people, but not everybody.
Sure.
If you're just looking, oh, I want the most price to performance, I don't care how it looks or whatever. That's not Paradox. Paradox is both. So and that's kind of every SI's got their own little thing. Anyways, again, I could talk your ear off the whole night. Thank you so much for hanging out here.
Yeah, let's boot this sucker up. Let's plug her in and see what happens.
Let me copy you over to let me copy this over to the other. Oh, is that making it disappear? What's going on there? Okay. I just got to do the thing here. Let's go to our desktop, see if that's showing. It might not be. It's zoomed in. Camera is on the, this is amazing. Like amazing how scuffed this is. It's really something. Okay, give me a second. Is that just not going to do it? Okay. I'm going to say this. I probably should have maybe worked with you on this before. Just to get it done for the first time there, and then it would be set for all the any later versions of this that I do, but it's okay. Oh, idiot. I'm an idiot. That's the wrong keyboard. There we go. Hi. There you go. And why isn't the capture showing? Very interesting. Let's just go ahead and deactivate and activate that capture. Okay, that's the wrong. Why is it upside down? Why on earth? Okay, 1 second. This is a brand new capture card, by the way, and it was giving me a lot of problems last night. But I had it fixed earlier, so who even knows? Okay, I must have transformed the horizontal and flip vertical. Get that back. Yeah, it was showing up upside down last night. Don't ask. Yeah. That's fair. Okay, unplugging that. Plug that back in. We'll get there, everybody. We will get there. Yeah. I need to do more calls to action like that. It's good. It's good stuff. Yeah. Why is it always got to be me, guys? Why can't you talk? Also, I don't know that I would recommend the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 as a follow webcam. It is very twitchy. Very cool for traveling and... Yeah, when I'm doing unboxings and stuff, it's very cool to have, but then it loses me all the time. Okay, this is ridiculous. What's going on with my source here? Are we looking at the... This has to be the right thing because it says Elgato. Just getting no signal. Okay. You know what I'm going to need to do? I know what I need to do. Okay. I need to probably go directly into this monitor here. It may require a GPU update or something like that, or it just needs to catch for the first time. Also, let me see if there's any code here. I did install new memory. I should have booted this thing up without doing that. I should have just booted it normally and done the upgrades off screen. But hey, what you gonna do? Here we are. Oh, yes, you did, because I hadn't copied that over yet. 1 second. I got you guys. Don't worry. We're going to get that again. And go to desktop. There you go. You're not muted anymore.
Yay.
There you go. Thanks, guys. Is HDCP on? That's what happened with the adrenaline drivers, but yeah. When Sick PCs donated 100 subs, Bray short-circuited. I lost my mind that night. I did not know how to act. I'd never had that before. That was crazy.
That's pretty crazy. 100 is nuts.
Stop with the... Don't switch. Stop it. Okay, so it's detecting the capture card. It always likes to change the audio device when I'm in the middle of a stream. Very helpful stuff, by the way. And my webcam is frozen now. Okay. Well, this is going swimmingly.
This is what streaming is like.
Yeah. Also, I probably should stop using the beat up 14900K, you know, the whole microcode thing that happened with 14900Ks. Mine not doing too well from that. And I just insist on continuing to use it for some reason. Okay. Okay, Ace. I swear I spent like 2 hours getting this working today. And now it wants to misbehave. Okay.
You could always do the ooh, is it working?
It's no signal. If that's unless we're meant to be seeing no signal there. Yeah.
You could do the tried and true, which is point a camera at the monitor.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me last night. Like someone was like, "Hey, chat, I fell asleep. Did he point the camera at the monitor yet?" Oh boy, that's the PC's gonna love that.
Sauce.
He's gonna love me unplugging that. Just get in there. All right. Few things more entertaining than trying to plug in an HDMI cable blind. Am I right?
Yeah, it feels like it's that classic polarity thing with a flash drive where you're like, I swear to God, I tried this way already.
Yeah. Boy, that messed everything up unplugging that because I had it's you know what it's I just want a capture card that works all the time. That's all I want. I don't think that's too much to
AverMedia
ask.
Live Gamer Duo is the GOAT of internal capture cards.
I hear it's good, and I actually talked to AverMedia at TwitchCon, and then I ceased talking to them afterwards. Yo, it's working immediately. How about that? It's the capture card. I freaking knew it. Well, here, chat, just so you believe me. You can't see that. Here, hold on. And primary. There we go. There we go. It's immediately working. Paradox Customs, it says right there. Okay, So I'm going to update the
Nice.
video drivers. Make sure that at least I'm going to make sure they're fully up to date. That can cause issues with capture. Go to NVIDIA settings here, and we will.
What's the OS? Is it Windows 10 or 11?
11. Yeah. No SI worth their salt's going to be installing 10 anymore because it's losing support. So
Yeah, in a couple months, right?
yeah. And to be clear, I say that as someone who genuinely liked Windows 10.
Oh, I love Windows 10. I'm still on Windows 10 on my current machine.
Well, enjoy.
I'm not looking forward to the bloat of 11, but that's okay.
Well, honestly, Tiny 11 is something I could definitely recommend.
Is that one of the debloaters that's on there right now or out there?
Yeah. I use that. So I have a PC back there. That one in the back there that has a mismatched GPU. That one is called Streamripper because it's a Threadripper system, but it's not anything to write home about in terms of like, oh, Threadripper 64 core. No, it's a 12 core Threadripper. Those existed, and it's second gen. But so I was going through San Francisco on the way back from Computex, and I went to go hang out at the PC World offices there because I know the guys were there, and they were like, "Yeah, come by. We'll do some content and do the podcast." And it was really fun. And they had an still new in box 12 core second gen Threadripper CPU. They were doing spring cleaning here. They were like, "Pick out of these carts. Get anything you want. We'll ship it to you." I was like, "If you insist, okay." Yeah, absolutely. So. Okay, install. I can reinstall the graphics driver. Let's go ahead and do that. And see if it helps. It's working here. It's working fine here, but I do need it to capture into my capture card.
I bet it's the internal card on your stream machine rather than the.
I mean, I'm using the 4KX right here. This guy. I just picked this up yesterday because it's easier to use external capture cards because the PC's over there, and I have the one I'm testing is over here, and it's
No, I got
mess.
you. I got you.
It's a big mess. I basically have two streaming setups. This and then that one when I'm doing PC matchmaking. I'm just looking at computers for people. Very different situation. But by the way, thank you for keeping me company through this because usually whenever there's something like this that goes on, it's just me yammering at people. But yeah,
I will. Something to know with Elgato cards is in OBS. Like if you have several Elgato, if you have several versions of the same source, or even if you have several different Elgato sources across your various scenes in OBS, you need to absolutely make sure that every single Elgato source is toggled on for deactivate when not showing.
Yeah.
Because Elgato sources love to stay on when they're on a scene that's not present and destroy your computer. Like absolutely obliterate performance. I used to get blue screens all the time and it took me like 6 months to solve the problem. And then people I know have had the same issue, and every time it's just Elgato cards want to be on constantly. So you have like, you think you're just using the one Elgato source on your current scene, but you actually have like 50 Elgato sources currently running on your computer.
Yeah, about that. So, you know, finite singularity, right?
No.
Yeah, you don't. Okay, all right. Really cool dude. Does a lot of the plugins for OBS that you might be using right now. You know, he makes a lot of those on GitHub and all that. Really great streamer, funny dude. It's just y'all have some mutual friends, so I figured maybe you knew him, but.
Maybe I've met him in passing or something before. It's possible. Right.
Well, we did a stream. I think it was in November. It was in November where I was setting that thing up for the first time, and basically I was like, "Yeah, if you want, just show me how some of your. I already know how some of your plugins work, but show me. Let's set it up from scratch using some of your plugins, and let's do some effects." And the way he was having me do the organization of setting up scenes and sources, I was like.
Once you work with somebody who uses OBS better than you, it's like, oh, I've been doing this wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I have 96 gigs of RAM. Okay.
Oh my God.
I need that because I don't optimize stuff. I used to enjoy that. A little busy now, but optimizing something, it is a time investment. And for this, it's like a lot of the things that are in my OBS right now are from moments like this where I'm like, oh, I'll just add this. Okay, let's just get that. Okay. You can see the thing. Oh, everything's perfect then. You can see the thing. Chat, you're good. And it's not good to just let it sit like that. Just let that be how you run everything. But oh well. I just know plugging this thing back in is gonna just mess up my audio again. Elgato, stop being such a bully with your products here. Just work with everything else, please.
Yeah.
I do like Elgato products. My foot pedals are broken, and I miss them every time I stream. You know,
I love Elgato hardware.
The hardware, yes. Wavelink is pretty cool unless you're not using it and it's on your system. Then it's like, hey, just let me grab all your stuff, and here's all these virtual. Don't have Wavelink if you're not using it as your primary audio thing, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. So I have that going directly in. I'm gonna try. This is gonna be fun. I guess I could just point the camera at this thing. I guess I could just do that.
That's the vibe, baby.
Yep. I'm just going to, you know what? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay. I was like, how do I do that? Well, this is gonna yank some cables probably, but I've got my top-down camera here. There it is. Let's see if I can make this work without having to actually move it, because it drops down to just above where this camera is right here. Let's see if I can make this happen. There we go. This is so scuffed. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's try this. I just got to go to my top down. It's upside down, of course. And 2 zoomed in. So let me flip that. Okay, we're good. We're moving. Actually, I got to move your stuff over too. They can't hear you now. That's okay. We got this. That and that. Down to here. And there you are. Now let's flip this over. And transform, flip vertical, and flip horizontal. Okay.
We did it. That actually looks pretty good. I mean, your camera is nice, so this looks good.
Yeah. This is my top-down camera, and I have it on. Basically, I took apart. There's a tripod where you can make it a monopod. I just took that part. It's attached to the ceiling, and I can move it up and down. So
nice.
Yeah. I did not expect to use it in this way when I set it up to be able to telescope like that, but somehow I knew, I guess. Okay, so this this is it right here. So there's a few things that I do sort of as a default. You're on Windows 10, so you're going to need me to do this. We're going to go to taskbar settings, okay? And well, actually, yeah, no, I'll do this real quick. Then we're going to go to taskbar behaviors, taskbar alignment left.
Yeah, let's lock that in.
Lock that in. Do you automatically hide the taskbar?
No.
I hate losing that screen real estate, but it's your PC. Okay.
I be clicking programs constantly.
Yeah. For the search, we're making that an icon only. That's all you need. Task view is off. Widgets are off. So it looks like Paradox actually did some cleanup in here already, because that's always on by default. Good job, Paradox. Like, you rarely see that. Also, it's a little hard to see this, but there is Google Chrome pre-installed. I don't know if you use Chrome or Opera or whatever you use, but it's not Edge. It's not the Edge logo there. So that's a plus. And NVIDIA app. You do need that. And L Connect 3, which is your software for your Lian Li RGB stuff. Okay. I'm telling you, the effects, you're just gonna want to go in there as a
I'll just
technology
play with it.
enjoyer. You got to just mess with it, because you can animate through the different LEDs, like the different like fans. They all know where they are.
That's cool.
So yes, it is. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun with that. Okay. So that's just stuff that I do because it's really annoying not to. And then you don't have a bunch of insane. Actually, we're gonna go to display settings real quick, and I'm gonna scale things up so it's easier for y'all to see. This is so not how I do this. See, that's a little easier to see. It's annoying to me, but you can actually see what's going on.
True.
Okay. And let's see what we're getting for a refresh rate. Nope. And we can go up to 160 here. Don't need to, but we're gonna. Okay. Now I've got my external drive somewhere.
External drive. What for?
That's where I have all my benchmark stuff and my stress test stuff.
Nice.
I've had to move a lot of stuff. I had to move a lot of stuff around during the stream, so I where that is. I mean, I could just download the stuff that I need because I'm on the internet here. So let's do that. We're gonna just grab Hardware Info 64. Actually, it might already be installed, knowing those guys. Just checking. They have something like that on here, but I guess it's not the one specifically I'm thinking of. So, okay. There we go. Hardware Info 64. And just get that. It's the one I like to use. Also, another thing, guys, that I can always recommend for setting up your new PC, Ninite.com. This, you can make a single installer for all of these programs at once. So, ADEF, if you use, say, the local Dropbox app or Google Drive for desktop, okay, pick one of those. VLC, click that. You go here and you can get 7-zip, bam, click that. You can get GIMP for images, or you can get Blender, click any of those that you want. All these are free applications. OpenOffice, QPDF, right? And you click all the ones that you want here and download a single installer that skips every prompt for a toolbar or nonsense like that.
Nice.
And it installs all of it in one fell swoop, and it's free. So let me I'm going to link that to everybody real quick in chat. Revo uninstaller is a good one. You're correct. Do you have your white rig on a Lazy Susan? I do. What's up, 13th floor? How's it going? That is ninite.com. ADEF is on Echo Audio. Are you echoing right now? Really?
Am I?
Yes, because now you're working on desktop audio for some reason. Okay, now no more echo. We fixed it. Okay, nice. Good. Okay, and I've been using this since my early IT days. It's been around forever. Very cool. But was there anything I wanted to throw on here from this? I don't think so. I'll let you use this. And what I'll do is well, heck, I'll just tell you about it later. I'll just give you a link in a DM there. It's really, really cool to just go through. I want that, and that, and then you're out. Okay, Hardware Info 64 is what I use for monitoring pretty much. And yes, and install. There we go. Dunion rings, baby. There you go. And they changed it. Okay. We'll go full mode at first, just so we can analyze some of the stuff. I probably need to go into the BIOS and set up XMP. Or do I? I don't, actually. It's at 6,000 megatransfers per second, CL30 already. Look at that. Okay, great. You can't see that.
I kind of can.
Yeah. Okay, and of course we have the Intel Core Ultra 9 285K running with 8 performance cores and 16 efficiency cores, which for this generation for the Arrow Lake, they beefed up the efficiency cores, which I thought was brilliant right there. Beefed them up and made them faster, but still very efficient. So this thing just crunches through things like code compile and your Blender and just all the different anything that has to do with what you would use in Cinebench R23, R24,
Nice.
Cinema 4D, all those things. Where you're using your CPU, when you're using your CPU, it is good to go. Look at the cores right here. This is your cores. That's insane. Now, you would see 16 of these with your current CPU because it's multi-threaded. They got rid of that for this, but instead they beefed up the efficiency cores instead of what can be introduced with hyperthreading is latency. So it's lower latency. Anyways, getting a little too in the weeds here. Now it's showing, for some reason, integrated graphics for your GPU. That's not correct because we're not even looking at that right now. So that's a little weird.
I assume the HDMI you're taking is just from the back of the graphics card.
Yes, we got it here. This is new. There's a drop down now to look at your different ones because you have the GPU, the NPU, which is the Arrow Lake neural processing unit for your AI stuff. But of course, run it on your 5080. That's where you're going to want to run your AI stuff. That'll put any CPU in the dust. Leave it in the dust. So of course, the RTX 5080 MSI Ventus 3X is going to have 16 gigs of VRAM. And let's see, it's PCIe 5.0. They finally went that route. You're running at full X16 as it shows here. There is no bifurcation going on. So some motherboards, man, I'm telling you, some motherboards, they look for reasons to switch it to X8 on your main GPU X16 slot. It's crazy. You look at it wrong or install a SATA drive where you shouldn't. Without looking at the manual, it'll just like, you get half GPU, you get half your GPU. It's really annoying. But I don't know how much do you get into this side of your PC?
Not enough.
Okay.
I have become intimately familiar with my current machine over years of upgrading and fixing. But it was never under the guise of like squeezing everything out of it that I can get.
Yeah. No, I feel you. And I mean that it's not for everybody. I mean, there's other things where you get in the weeds, and
sure, yeah. I mean, for me, it's just like I don't want to break it.
Yeah. I know. I understand that. As someone who breaks things often.
Like I don't want to. I have no need for overclocking. Like I
Well,
I assume overclocking potential is fine on this, given it's liquid cooled and has 3,000 fans in it.
Well, one thing that happened with Arrow Lake is that they finally made it to where there's some headroom for overclocking. 13th and 14th gen didn't have much on a 360 millimeter radiator, AIO. There was not much. It would hit 100 degrees Celsius and just pin it and then moderate its frequencies. It was designed to do that at 13th and 14th gen, which was crazy. That's not what we were used to. We used to be like, all right, you're getting up to 95 under load. That's okay. But you want to maybe get that under 90 and yada yada. No, there is none of that anymore. If it has headroom, it just pushes itself. So manual overclocking wasn't as much of a thing. Now with Arrow Lake, that is a possibility. But guys like you and me, where if you make a living off your PC, stability is what you need. That has to be paramount. Exactly. It's got to be. Yeah, nothing like losing a few hours of work when you're editing a video. It's the best. No, I have autosave set up.
Same.
Yeah, you got to. Anyway, so that's that. I would like to see Intel bump up their L3 cache because it clearly makes such a big difference for AMD, but they don't really have an equivalent to 3dB cache yet. And this CPU will game at an give or take on certain games it'll be above, or certain games will be a little bit below. But the 14th gen, which was a gaming monster, this game's at nearly the same level with lower temperatures and lower power draw.
Sweet.
That is an advancement of the technology if I ever saw one. But, some people are just like, it's got to be at the top or it ain't nothing. If you ain't first, you're last.
Elden Ring's about to go crazy on this thing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. So let's get our sensors going here. This is...
And after these tests, unfortunately, Bray, I may have to bounce.
No problem. Yeah, no problem at all. I was... giving you the option for a graceful exit earlier, but I appreciate you wanting to hang out a little more.
Well, I want to see how she performs. I gotta know.
Yeah, let's get Cinebench R23 on here. R23 is a popular one. We'll run that. How am I misspelling Cinebench? Probably because I haven't had to download it for like 2 years. Okay. R23. There we go. Download now. And there you go. All right. Are you going to do the thing? That's an ad. I don't know how download sites like this allow ads to say start your download. That is so aggravating.
Yeah, I always do the like I look in the bottom left as I hover over the hyperlink or over the button
Yes.
and see what the like target URL is.
That's a good tip. Extract all. There we go. All right. A lot of small things in Cinebench. We'll let that run while I download something else. Let's get Furmark. From Geeks 3D here. Furmark is interesting because Furmark is basically a power virus for your GPU. It just maxes out the power, and then you get to see what the temps are like. It's the fuzzy donut thing. You've probably seen it.
Mm.
Okay, there we go. It says Geeks 3D server, so that's a fine link right there. Okay, there's Cinebench R23. R24 is out, but I don't know. I'm a little more used to R23, so we'll run that. And then I'm going to go to this and extract that. And while we get Cinebench ready to go. Okay, so my main thing to do when I need to put the glass back on here is I want to see thermals. I want to see thermals running well because aside from that, differences in, minor differences in clock speeds and things like that are not always perceptible. Your PC overheating and slowing down, usually you'll notice. So let me just put the glass on here. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Do you like IEMs, by the way? Or it looks like you're using like the Apple earbuds.
Yeah, I have Apple just default.
I'm going to link you to these. This is the best $50 you will ever spend on audio. Like, seriously, it's miles ahead of like the Apple earbuds, and just like $50. And they're dual driver IEMs, and they're so good.
Word. I bought these for $7.
The crazy thing is, you see people like you'll see Moist Critical, and you see guys like that just using those, and they're like they're some of the biggest streamers in the world, and it's like,
yeah,
spend like an extra $40 on your audio, man. But that's the thing, is you can do this and never become an audio nerd or camera nerd, ever. Yeah,
true.
Okay, so we got Cinebench R23 and we got Furmark. Let's run those things. Cinebench first, and then because I can't really show you guys too much, we're gonna just I'm just gonna report on the temps, and hopefully I'll zoom in on it wherever I can. Like here's the EULA. There you go. Do you guys accept this? No, okay. Say again.
Oh, I got you now. Okay, I lost you on Discord for a second.
Oh, okay. No, it looks like we're still connected.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's run this thing. So we're going to run a single multi-core test. Let me reset our numbers here in our CPU temps. Okay. So we're going to do a clock reset there. So we get our min max average reset and then start a multi-core test. And this thing flies. Now, look at it go. Each one of those tiles is using a thread or a core. It's bananas. Now, one thing is the new 9950X 3D from AMD will get a higher score in Cinebench. And then you turn on a game and half the core shut down. It's like, it's genuinely annoying to me.
What is this image that it's rendering?
It's just, it's a room with some chairs and a table and some plates. This is just, that's just, yeah. It appears that I did the 10-minute test. So there's that. So what we'll do, what we'll actually get is going to be a good representation of temperatures. Stop that, Windows 11. Okay, so let's see here. We're at 75 C. Of course, this thing can get up to 100 Celsius and operate at that temperature and be totally fine, but that's not necessarily something that we want.
Right.
And let's look at our power draw here. Looks like core effective clocks are 4.7 gigahertz. And our maximum so far has been 5.4 gigahertz, which is it's pretty damn high. But man, it is crunching through this test. Okay, that's going to be, we'll let that run. The main thing we need to see, you can look, it's available. I just downloaded this. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and run at, let's do 1440p. 2560 by 1440. There we go. And we just hit run, and it'll just be running it in the background. There's a good old fuzzy donut right there. Little eye of Sauron going on. And this is just pushing the GPU to the max. So both the CPU and GPU are maxed out right now in performance. Now that means that GPU is pushing more warmer ambient air inside of the case. While the CPU is exhausting its heat out because a radiator is part of the exhaust setup, the GPU is generally designed to just push out hot air into the ambient air there, and it relies on an air exchange inside the case to get that away. And like an overall air exchange. That can raise CPU temperatures. So we are really slamming it right now. And we're still maximum temperature 79 degrees Celsius on that CPU. That is excellent to see. And it's very, very, we're 21 Celsius under where it would really thermal throttle. That is very good. Now looking at our GPU here. Let's see, GPU power is it maxed out at just about 362 watts. Sounds appropriate for a 5080. And let me look at GPU temperatures here. Max so far has been 73 degrees Celsius. GPUs different from CPUs. You generally want to stay under 80 degrees Celsius. We're doing okay. This is not thermal throttled yet. So those fans are kicking in. I can hear it. Don't know if you guys can. But I feel like I'm doing a play-by-play right now. Anyways, I don't know. Did I lose? Oh, I thought he was just being real quiet. How did the call go? Stream was crashing. Oh boy. Well, that's a thing. Boy, what a scuffed stream. Guys, it looks like my PC is in the process of crashing right now. There's a lot of stuff that just is not working. So, yeah. AF, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. Go take care of your cats. It's family first. Absolutely. But yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm probably going to have to restart the stream or something, or just record something for the video, because I'm probably going to have to reboot my PC now. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. And ADEF, really cool chatting with you. Clearly, we can just talk forever. That's not necessarily what you needed tonight, but it's really helped out to just be able to chill out. And I hope you're happy with this thing. Yeah, I might need to swap out PCs at this point. So many FPS that broke the stream for sure. You hear me now, so that's something. Yes, something is causing all this to hang, and that's not good. What is it? No, I've got all the memory I need. I got everything. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close whatever I don't need. Whatever's not mission critical. Looks like my camera froze or my stream. Yeah, the stream looks frozen. You hear me, it's just your video output is crap. No, it's just... No, yeah, okay, cool. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm just going to end it here because my video output is crap and my stream is crap. All right. Thank you for that, by the way. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm just going to finish this tomorrow. I'm going to troubleshoot some stuff, maybe switch to streaming on a different PC altogether and just chuck this thing out into the dumpster. It's been one thing after freaking another with this computer. And there you go. Thanks very much for hanging out, everybody. And thank you very much to ADEF for coming and hanging out. You're gonna love this thing. I'm gonna do more testing on it tomorrow night before packing it up and shipping it out your way. So as Senku would say, get excited. But that's gonna be it for tonight. Oh, by the way, in case y'all were wondering, if you can see this at all, by the way, it's still running Furmark. It finished Cinebench, and our max temperatures were 74.5 degrees Celsius on the GPU, and on the CPU, we hit a max temperature of 81 degrees Celsius for maximum. No big deal at all. 40,202 for the Cinebench R23 score. There you go. That's on the record. All right, guys. Thanks very much for hanging out. I will catch you all tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. We're going to finish this review tomorrow. It's going to be a two-parter because of this. But hopefully I'm going to be on a completely different PC. I've got a lot of work to do tonight if I'm going to manage that. But thanks so much, everybody. And until tomorrow, and I don't know, until next time, take care. Hey, boy.
Let's go, nerds!